so their little pure Americans can feel safe in revolvers. But I'm not a rat in a trap, white boy. I'm a fucking tiger. And you know what tigers do with cages, white boy? They fuck them up. They eat the caretaker. You want to be a tiger, white boy? That is what a tiger would say.
Hey everyone, welcome back. Zim here, and today we're going to talk about Sector B and dealing with the Yakuza for the first time. Now, if you haven't gotten access to Sector B yet, I'd go back and watch my previous video, which would help you get to Sector B and make these tips relevant. For everyone else, let's get down to business. So let's first talk about the ways you can get into Sector B. Now, there are three main ways I use to get into Sector B. The first and most obvious one would be the police checkpoint. Now, the main downside to the police checkpoint is that you'll get searched by the police every time you go through, and they'll confiscate and fine you for anything that they find. A side note is also that you cannot use the police checkpoint at night unless you want to just get arrested. The most basic way to get drugs through the checkpoint would be to just run through. However, this will cause the police to watch your operations much closer. Now, one of the best ways I found to get through was to actually just toss your backpack over the wall, a little bit away from the checkpoint. The police will check you but find nothing, and you'll be able to continue on. Note that as you use a heavier backpack, it'll be harder and harder to throw it over, to the point where I haven't found a way to get the double bag over to Sector B yet. Though I have found a way to pass it back from Sector B, using the guardrails next to one of the checkpoints. Your next option is a manhole located in East Old Town. However, with this method, you cannot bring a backpack with you. So without investing points into your pocket skill, you won't be able to get much use out of this method. One last thing about the manhole is that you never know what's on the other side. This means that when you emerge, you could end up in the middle of a police patrol. Now, the final way I've found to get through so far is to actually talk to a construction worker located in the south end of the map. Now, for a price, he'll allow you to use a tunnel that brings you to the north side of Sector B. Keep in mind that as time goes on, the cost to use this will increase. So which one of these methods should you use? Well, I use all three. I'll throw backpacks over the wall for midday drug deliveries, and I'll use the sewers for quick deliveries between clients from my main base at night. And I'll use the construction tunnel at night when I'm moving duffel bags worth of product through the border. Now let's talk about the next big step you're going to take, by selling drugs directly to the Yakuza. Once you've unlocked enough territory within Deadtown, you'll get a call from Eddie. He's going to give you the heads up that the Yakuza want to meet with you, but to be careful. He'll send you the locations for a meeting within Bad Asia, where you can meet with them within their shop. Once you arrive at the sit-down, they will explain how they want to use you as a supplier to move drugs further into the country. Now, this is a great opportunity for you because they'll be buying large quantities. Along with this, the cartel will allow you to hold a higher credit line with them, allowing you to purchase more and more before you have to pay them back. After the meeting, they'll reach out to you with more information about the deal, along with your first order. Now, there are two important things to note about the deal. One thing is that the price they're willing to pay for your supply is much lower than people on the street. However, they won't care how you cut the drugs as long as you reach a certain quality standard set by them. Because of this, most of your profit margin will be coming from being able to cut the drugs and make it cheaper and cheaper before you sell it off to them. Because of this, let's take a small look at drug mixing. Within the game, there is a decently complex system where you create your own drug mixes. To accomplish this, you have various tools you can use. Some change the form of the drug, for example from crystal to powder, while others can be used to combine different substances together. Now, when you're combining substances, it's very important to understand that there are different traits that you can't actually see. These include, but are not limited to, the following: the strength of the substance, its toxicity, the addictiveness of it, and other more subtle traits. Now, it's important to note that these exact traits are hidden, so you'll have to experiment to slowly start to understand the values each one has. Now let's get back to cooking drugs for the Yakuza. The following is a recipe I use to create crystal meth for the Yakuza. First, you'll need a large flask and a crystallizer, which you can pick up from the drugstore. First, we're going to need a solvent, so I use 10 grams of acetone. Next we'll add 100 grams of actual crystal meth, followed by 10 grams of amphetamines, and finally round it out with some cheap fillers such as sugar or salt. After crystallizing, this will make exactly 140 grams of crystal meth. This reduces the cost from $9 a gram down to about $7. Because of this, it doubles the profit margin from $2 a gram to $4. Now this is a very basic recipe, so if you found a cheaper way to make this, I'd love to hear it in the comments. Now remember, when the Yakuza receives a successful order, they're going to increase it next time, and eventually you're going to be making large sums of money very quickly. Okay everyone, that's it for this video. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to like and subscribe for more. And please let me know in the comments if there's anything you'd like me to cover next.